Welcome to the Roadrunner 89 Investment Network, where we talk about interracial love and marriage. Hope you enjoy Swirl to Investment. Okay, how's everybody doing? Can everybody hear me okay? Please give me a one if you can hear me. Please. Okay, I think the audio's okay. Okay, can you hear me? Somebody give me a one if you can hear me. If not, well, you can't do nothing. Okay. All right. Okay, thank you, Jennifer. I appreciate it. Okay, guys, happy Friday night. Okay, tonight, okay, I want to talk about it's okay to have a preference. Okay, and I'm going to talk about having a preference. I'm going to share with you what I've gone through to have a preference and why we act a certain way when we have a preference. Okay, and sometimes it's good and sometimes it's not. Okay, I'm going to share with you some things I've been through with my preference and my mindset and the way I try to conduct myself. Okay, you guys tonight are going to be like, okay, you can hear me, thank you. You're going to be like, wow, okay. But a lot of people act the way I did when I was young. A lot of people up in age are acting this way. It's like they're afraid to admit they have a preference. Okay, we all have preferences when it comes to love, dating, marriage. Okay, whether it's within our same racial group or interracially, we all have a preference, and nothing wrong with that. Okay, it's okay to have a preference. Okay, where it's not okay is if you can't admit you have a preference. It's not okay if you can't be honest with yourself and others. Okay, if you have a preference because it comes from a place of love and a good place. Okay, you have a preference because you love your preference. Okay, and if it's not. And if it don't come out of hate and it's not something you choose a preference because of the lust you have, because of something stupid like that, it's okay to have a preference if it comes from a loving, healthy place. Okay? And I'm going to talk about that. But don't be ashamed of having a preference. Don't be afraid to admit you have a preference. Okay? We all have preferences. Okay? Of course, nobody gets judged if they have a preference within their own racial group. Like if a white man prefers a white woman, nobody cares. If a black man prefers a black woman or vice versa, nobody cares. But when you have a preference in a different racial or ethnic group, that's when people have a problem. Okay? And I think in today's world, it's mostly black and white. Because if I was a young man, I could date Asian, I could date Hispanic, I could date Middle Eastern. Nobody gives two shits. Okay? But if it's a black woman, there's a problem. Okay? And I don't know why that is. Well, I got some ideas why that is. But it is what it is. Okay? But don't be afraid. It's okay to have a preference. It's okay to love somebody that don't look like you. As long as they're a good person and they make you feel loved and accepted and they make you feel good, it's all good. Okay? And I know I'm speaking passionate on this because for some reason, this is a freaking problem. Okay? And I want to talk to you. Back in my younger days when I was dating interracially, I've always had a preference for black women. Okay? And I did then, I do now, and always will. Okay? Black women, to me, are the most beautiful women on earth, the most loving, the best option out there. Okay? And it's not, I don't feel that way out of hate, out of, Becky didn't do me wrong, so I ran to the black woman. That ain't it at all. Okay? I just seen a certain beauty in black women, and I've always gravitated towards black women. And you say, well, Roadrunner, you have a fetish. No, bullshit. Because I felt this way as a child before I could even think about desiring a woman. Okay? In a sexual way. So that's BS. Okay? There's something about black women I found amazing and beautiful. There's something about black women that I wanted to be around them. Okay? And it went way beyond me having a sexual desire towards women. Okay? And I'll share this with you. My mother and father knew I was going to marry a black woman before I knew it. And they told me that. They laughed at that. They said, we know, son. My mother told me, she said, son, I was preparing you to be a husband and father to a black woman. And my dad laughed and said, yeah, me too. We knew where this was going. And that's okay. If it's God's will, if that's what God wants in your life, we're okay with it. My parents were on board. They knew that there was a higher power involved. They knew something was going on. And they never fought it. Thank God for me, I didn't have to fight the good fight to be with a black woman with my mother and father. Now, some people in my family, they weren't, they didn't agree with me being with a black woman. Okay? It is what it is, all well. I'm going to live my life the way I want to live it. I'm going to go where I'm loved and celebrated. I'm going to go for the best option. I have a preference. Even if that group, I'm not a preference to them. It don't matter. I want the best option. Okay? And that's okay. And the problem with people today in today's world is they have a preference, but they are too afraid to step out of their comfort zone and be with who they want, who they're attracted to, who makes them feel better, who makes them feel more loved. They're afraid to go out of that comfort zone. They're afraid on who they're going to offend. They're afraid on what people will think. To me, that is damn stupid. So you're going to compromise your happiness because of what people think, whether it's in your family, your friendship group, or society. I see it so many times. And it's so disturbing. And why do we do this? And look, I've been married 31 years to my wife, a black woman. Okay? And you know my preference. And if you see my channel, I'm not afraid to tell the world my preference. I'm not afraid to tell the world how much I love black women, how amazing black women are. I say it all the time. In my life, people say, wow, if it's a black woman, you'll go the extra mile. They have told me that my whole life. And when you have a preference, and us as men, naturally we're protective of women. And when you have a preference, like I have a preference for black women, I always was protective of black women. I always had certain feelings towards black women. And people would tell me, yeah, if it's a black woman, you'll go that extra mile. You'll and you know the crazy thing is I didn't even see that because it was so natural. Because that's where my heart was. I just did it naturally. And when you have a preference, you're going to be biased. Yes, you're going to have favoritism towards that group. That's what a preference is. Okay? And I can say I see beauty in all women, of all colors, all races. Okay? I see the beauty in all women. But when it comes to love and marriage, for me, it's black women or nothing. And people think I'm weird. People think something's wrong with me. And there's not. I felt in my life there was something wrong. I felt like I had, and I'm going to share this with you in my younger days, and this sounds so stupid. But because my heart was with a black woman, I always wanted to be around black women. I wanted to date black women, right? But I never wanted to stir up any controversy, and I played it off like, oh, I love all women, but I accidentally, I happen to fall in love with this black woman and she's my girlfriend and she does all these amazing things. Like I have to explain why I'm with a certain woman. And I look back and it's stupid. You don't have to explain anything to anybody why you're with who you want to be with. But I did it. And back in the day when I was younger, I would act like I was into all women, but I accidentally somehow got with a black woman, and she's so amazing. I had to explain how great she is. And I see black women and white men all the time do this thing. They'll explain how the person they're with is so great and how they're awesome. And somehow they accidentally fell in love with someone of a different race. And like it's some exception to the rule. Like they found that needle in the haystack. And I played that game. I told people that because I didn't want to rock the boat. But truth be told, people always knew I had a preference for black women. People knew I had a softness for black women. I didn't have to tell them. And when you're playing that game to try to be politically correct and try to act like you don't have a preference because when it comes to love and marriage, it's equal opportunity, that's bullshit. It's not. You have a preference. You have a bias. You're attracted to a certain group of women. Guys, you are. Or lady, it could be the same race or a different race. You have a preference. But for those of us that have a preference for a group of women outside our racial group, we try to play it off like, oh, well, I love all women. It just happened, but she's great. And like you have to get confirmation. Like you got to get validation. And I'm sad to say that I played that game. I'm not proud of the things I did when I was younger. I was afraid to admit I had a preference. I was afraid to express the love I have for black women. But my actions spoke the truth. It didn't matter what my words said. The truth will find you out. And I look back and I'm damn embarrassed. Because I believe that, the people that love you the most are the ones that look like you, even though I wasn't into women that look like me. And I tried to mold my life to where I would be with white women because I believed that's what I was supposed to do. But my heart said no. And the crazy thing is when I tried to date within my race, it didn't feel right. There was nothing there. There was no chemistry. There was no feelings. And this is the dumbest, stupid thing people do all the time. Because we believe we got to be race loyal. We got to love the women that look like us because our mothers. And I love my mother with all my heart. But because I have a love for black women does not mean I hate my mother. I don't. Because I love black women don't mean I hate white people. I don't. There's just something about black women that captured my heart, that made me feel loved, that made me want to be around them. And it started when I was a child, and it grew from a teenager to a man. And because I was stupid, I couldn't come out and admit it. I couldn't come out and say, yeah, I'm attracted to black women. That's who I want to be with. That's my preference. Couldn't do that. And part of it was I didn't want no confrontation. I didn't want to offend nobody. But the biggest heartbreaking thing is I didn't offend white women while I was playing the political correct thing. Who I was really hurting is the women I had the most love with, black women. And I remember as a teenager, when I was 16, my first black girlfriend, and I loved her. I was like in seventh heaven. She told me, she says, I know you love black women, and I love being around you. But you don't act like you love black women. You don't act like you have any love for me. You act like it's an accident that you're with me. That it was something that just freaking happened. And damn it, that is so fucking embarrassing. Because that's not what my heart said. That's not. But I fouled up that relationship because I couldn't show her the love I truly had for her. Because I was afraid of other people. I was afraid of what people in my group would think. I was afraid that I didn't say the right thing. And damn it, I tried to date white women. I tried to change my mindset because I was sold this line of bullshit that you have to be with your own. And when I woke up one day and said, damn it, I'm fucking biased. It's black women or nothing. And damn it, I'm going to live my life and be happy even if I'm wrong. And that's when I finally, in my life, when I finally get to my 20s, I can be happy. Fuck the world, what they thought. Fuck being right or wrong. I'm going to be happy. And that was a time in our life where I was the happiest. I could be with, date who I want to date, who I'm attracted to. And the women I dated, I could give them all my love. And when I met Sandy, I could give her everything. because I love her. She's my preference. But it's not from a sexual desire, it's from the heart. It's from a love I felt as a child long ago. And from that moment, I could say, yeah, I'm biased. Yeah, you might think something's wrong with me, but I know my preference. And I'm not afraid to admit it. And you guys probably wonder why I praise black women, why I say I love black women so much. And the reason is it's uplifting because I don't have to hide nothing no more. I'm free to feel how I want to feel. I'm free to be with who I want to be with. And I'm free to be happy. And I didn't desire black women out of lust. I didn't desire them out of hate. I just knew that was the best option. I knew where my destiny was. And I'm telling you, do not be afraid. If you have a preference, that's you. That's who you love. Do not be afraid of offending nobody. Don't be afraid of being politically correct. We're human beings. And we need to go with where we're loved and celebrated. Even if it don't look like us. It's okay. It's okay. It don't mean you're racist because you love somebody of a different race. It don't mean you hate your family, your mother, it don't mean that at all. I love my mom with all my might, with everything. But I just happen to love black women. Is that so wrong? Is that so horrible? Do I love the heart or do I love the skin tone? You tell me. And I'm telling you, I need to talk about this because this is so disturbing. I've seen so many people hurt through the years. There are more people that want to swirl to investment than you even know. There are so many people that wanted to do it back in the day that want to do it now, but they don't because they're afraid. They don't because they believe in a bunch of bullshit that they've been conditioned to believe. They're brainwashed out of their happiness because they feel so guilty for loving somebody that's different. Once I can break those chains, once I can break that spell, and just see women as being beautiful, and just seeing black women for how amazing they are, how beautiful they are, their character, I can once in my life be happy. Though people hated me for it. And I'm telling you, once I started being honest and told the truth, it didn't get easier. I was much happier because I could be with who I want to be with. But I had much more hate towards me. I had people hate me, both black and white, because of how I feel about black women. But why do I gotta lie? Why? And you know what? For the way I feel, the decisions I made, it worked out. I have 32 years of marriage. I have kids, grandkids. My family is growing. I wasn't the one that was wrong. Everybody else was full of shit. But I can never reach happiness until I started being honest until I told the truth. Until I would go where I wanted to go, where I was loved and celebrated. Where and the most beautiful thing is when I opened up my heart, there were women that were my preference, that there were women out there that loved me, that wanted to be in a relationship. I was what for the first time in my life happy. And I found my wife Sandy. And I remember when we got married, that was the greatest day of my life. And I felt so good and I felt free. I felt like God had answered my prayers. But before then, I was fighting my happiness. I was fighting my preference. I was fighting where my heart was going. I was fighting everything I loved in my life. And why? I see so many people fighting this. Why? I remember that George Floyd thing going on and Black Lives Matter. I remember there were black women that divorced their white husbands because they felt some kind of way for George Floyd because their husbands weren't emotional enough. And they were throwing away marriages. And I know some people that did that, that regret it. Because we're conditioned that it's us against them. We're conditioned to be racial loyalty. But there's something going on with white men, and there's something that's positive going on, and I feel pretty good. I'm seeing it. I'm seeing white men open up their options and date and marry out. More than white women. A lot more. And why is this happening? I think white men are looking for, in today's world, are just looking for a wife. They're looking for something different. And I think once white men and black women just go where they're loved and celebrated and open up their options and don't care what people think, I think the world will change. I think we'll be better off for it. I really do. And I'm not telling people you gotta interracially date, because you find someone that you love that's the same as you, that's good too. That's a blessing. But my thing is for those of us that find love outside our race, for those that find love outside our group, can you leave us the fuck alone and let us love who we love? Damn it, society. Can you get the fuck out of our way and let us build a family with who we love? Because we don't care if our kids look different. We don't care. We just want to be with who we love. But anyway, I'm telling you, back in the day, and I was able to clear this up as a teenager. Well, in my early 20s, I finally got a grip. When I finally said, you know what? I'm attracted to black women. I think black women are amazing and beautiful. I love being around black women. I feel comfortable being around black women. And I feel love there. What the fuck am I doing? Trying to explain my way out of it. Be honest. It would suit you better. And I'm telling you. And I'm glad that In my early 20s, I was able to figure it out and say, you know what? I'm going where I want to be. I'm going to the women I love, that I feel loved and comfortable around, and I don't care what people think. Once I was able to do that, that's when I started living my life. That's when I was happy. That's when I didn't care what people thought. That's when I could get married and build a family. That's when I could truly live my life. And I wasn't living for nobody else but for me and my happiness. And thank God I had a mother and father that wanted me to be happy and didn't care the color of who I was with. Because they seen something. They seen where my heart was as a child and growing up. They weren't alarmed that I was attracted to black women. They weren't. My father was like, well, God's doing something because it's pure. You had that love as a child and you grew up. My mother said, the way you acted around black women when you were a child, I knew where you were going. And it's okay. Because, see, true Christians and true Christianity see people as people, and they know God has a plan. And sometimes you don't fall into the norm. Sometimes you can't go with the flow. Sometimes you have a different destiny. Sometimes you're meant to be with somebody different. But instead of accepting it and being loved, we fight it. Why? Why? I tell you, I got emotions on this. I'm telling, because I know God had a plan and I fought it. And when I just told the truth, everything worked out. Everything worked out. I look at marriage rates and I see black women, white men, and I'm seeing positive things happening. Lowest divorce rates, and I'm seeing that. And look, in today's world, our marriage rates are horrible. Our morals are shot. Uh, in every community, there's just good and bad. But I found a blessing. I found that hidden treasure. And I was looking for it as a child. Anyway, okay, tonight I got a lot to talk about. Okay, I'm going to talk about, it's okay to have a preference and don't be afraid. And if you don't, if your preference is the same group as you, that's okay too. I'm not saying that's wrong. It's not. But what I am concerned about is those of us that love people that are different, we're being told we're wrong for having those feelings. We're being told we're wrong for loving somebody of a different color, a different racial group. And that's wrong. Because who you're destined to be with isn't always what you look like. And those of us that have love for other people, leave us the hell alone. Okay? The world's changing anyway. Man is always evolving. We're never going to be the same. Black and white people are going to come together and procreate. They're going to have families. Why hate it? Why try to stop it? In what we want is true love and be where We're loved and celebrated and be happy. I'm just saying. Anyway. Okay, guys, let me put the copyright disclaimer. I got some videos, okay? But I'm telling you how I feel. Okay? I'm telling you, I've been through a lot, and my biggest problem was just not being honest with myself. Okay? Copyright disclaimer, fair use, fair use. We're going to use these videos for educational purposes. We're going to use these videos so we may learn something. We're going to use these videos for entertainment, for opinion. Okay? We're going to use these videos most of all to learn something. Okay? Alright. Let me go ahead and pull this down, but fair use. Okay? Let me show you some videos and tell me what you think. Okay? I know some people feel some kind of way, especially when it comes to interracial relationships. Okay? But let me show this and tell me if they're right or wrong.
Actually cooked.
Okay. This young lady says we have officially entered the baby bust era. Okay, what is the baby bust era? All right? And let me give some context on what she's going to talk about. Birth rates are low, okay, in today's world. We're having less children than ever, okay? People say white people are dying out, having less children. And a lot of pro-blacks are celebrating it because they want to see white people disappear, I guess. Okay? But it's not about that. People are having less children. Why? I think it's because of our morals, because of how we feel about marriage, because we're not responsible. A lot of us men aren't. And a lot of women don't want to have children with men that aren't responsible enough to marry them and stand up and take responsibility. Okay. She's going to talk about the black community being cooked, but all communities are cooked at this point. Okay? But let me go ahead and show this video.
So the black race is officially cooked. The birth rates are down. This is public information. It's all over the internet. You can go and Google this, blackdemographics.com. It will tell you that the black birth rates are down. Babies are not being had. They even called it the baby bust era. We're going through a baby bust. Whoo shit, you heard of the baby boom. Those were our parents and grandparents. The baby boomers, we're actually going through a baby bust right now because they was the baby boom era. We going through the baby bust era. So essentially what's happening is a lot of women are opting out because they can't have their cake and eat it too. They can't get the results that women who get with productive men get. Productive men meaning men who actually can be fathers, actually have what it takes to be a father, has the lifestyle set up to be a father. They can't get the results with Pookie that they get with those productive men. So they're just saying, you know what, I'm just not even gonna have no kids because I don't want to get with a productive man. See, I've heard women get on this app and actively say out of their mouths, oh, the productive men are lame, they're squares, they're boring, they're not exciting enough. They literally get on here and say this now, y'all. Just scroll, you're gonna run into these videos. So the reason why they're opting out is because they can't get with Pookie and Ray Ray and get good results. So they're just like, well, I just won't have no kids at all. Instead of just doing what it takes to be a grown-ass woman, put your big girl panties on, go through the proper vetting process, understand that a productive...
Okay, I'm going to stop right there because here's the thing. And I disagree with what she's saying. And I'm going to tell you why. Okay, she's putting it back on the black woman. Put your big girl panties on and be that woman and do better. But here's the thing. Only 26% of black women are married in America. Black men are not marrying black women. Okay? So you can put your big girl panties on all day. You can be more submissive. You can take out the weave and go natural or whatever they're saying, not do your nails because that's not traditional and all that stupid shit. And you can do better. I seen black women always, left and right, always trying to do better. Telling each other, you need to understand. You need to be more submissive. You need to be more natural. You got to quit going for the Pookie and Ray Ray. You got to go for that good man and all that other stupid shit. But you know what? Truth be told, all there is a damn Pookie and Ray Ray. Even the nerdy dudes out there are Pookie and Ray Ray. They're not committing. They don't want marriage. They don't think marriage is important anymore. They think it's a piece of paper. The black community is done. Stick a fork in it. I'm sorry. I hate to say it. I wish it wasn't true. But black women, only 26% of you are getting married. Okay? And black men are interracially dating more than any other group of men. They're going for white women. They're going for Asian women. They're going for Hispanic because they're exotic. And look at these pro football players. It ain't no accident. They say, well, you know, we're millionaires now. We're more around white women. No, bullshit. That's fucking a bunch of bullshit. You're embracing that whiteness that you say you hate so much, that you say you're fighting white supremacy. No, you're not. You're contributing to it. And you're putting black women down. And you're putting them second rate. So black women, open up your options. Don't stand for that crap. If these athletes want to be stupid and get with a white woman that would not give them the time of day when they were, you know, the everyday Tyrone on the block, let them do that. Because black women, you are the true love. You are the black backbone of the black community. You are that hidden treasure. And I tell you, black women are my preference, always will be. I will never date any other. Look, I'm married. I'm not going to date no more. Even if something horrible happened to my wife, God forbid. It's it. Sandy is my wife, my one and only. But if I were to entertain it, it would be a black woman. I made my decision long ago that black women are my preference. That is my only choice. And I don't hate white women. I don't hate Hispanic and Asian. They're all beautiful women. There are good women in every group. But there's something about a black woman's loyalty. There's something about a black woman's nurturing. There's something about a black woman's spirituality. And black men are throwing it away left and right. Because of their ego. Because of putting themselves first instead of the women. A community will never survive unless they put the woman first. Why do you think white people done so good? It ain't that we're better, no. It's because we put Becky on that pedestal and we made her first. And we put her up there above everything. Think about it. And why do white men do better with black women? Because we're putting her on that same pedestal. Because we understand that the woman is the treasure. We understand the woman is the prize. We understand that if we're going to be happy, healthy, and live a good life, we need a good wife. It's not about us. A man cannot be the prize. Any man that says he's a prize, you need to run, ladies. I don't care what his race is. And young lady, I get what you're trying to say. I get you're trying to give good advice to black women to do better and look for that good man. But ladies, black women, you've done more than enough. Black women, You are the most loyal, the most loving. You have done more than any other group of women, but you get the short end of the stick. And sorry to tell you, it's the men in your community that don't love you and respect you like they should. Sorry to say it. Now, there are some good men out there that are doing the right thing, and I call them the diamond in the rough. If you're a black man and I refer to you as a diamond in the rough, I have love and respect for you. Okay? But I don't call a lot of black men that. I don't. And this dude on mine roast tonight always complains that, oh, Roadrunner always talking about black men. Yes, I am. Because those are the ones that are harming the black women the most. The group of women I love the most are being harmed mostly by black men. Okay? Let's be honest. Now, there are some horrible white men doing it. And, you know, I go in on them too. Okay? We got to protect black women, right? But black women, you're done enough. You need to go where you're loved and celebrated. Okay? And look, I don't know what the big deal is with weave and nails. I never gave a shit. I love black women. If she wants to be with me and she's got a weave and nails, that's fine. I don't care. Okay? Now, truth being told, I could go in on the black community, but the white community isn't doing so hot either. Okay? Society is going to hell in a handbasket. And we need to do better. We need to do what's right. And black women need to open up their options. 26% being married? Come on. And white men, you're not getting the best result with Becky either. Let's be honest. Our divorce rates are super high. And I think that's why white men are opening up their options, going to Asian women, Hispanic women, black women, more so than ever. Something's happening. Back in the 1800s, early 1900s, nobody ever thought a white man would marry a woman of a different race. Yeah, white men had affairs with different women, sure. But they were pretty much race loyal. We're not so much anymore. And I don't think black women are either. Black women are exotic to whites. Yeah, they are. There's nothing wrong with that if you have a pure heart. If you find a black woman different, amazing, attractive, and it might be exotic, if you have a pure heart and you just love being with her, and it's okay to love how she looks and she's different, that's okay. As long as you have true love. Okay? But I'm just saying, black women are getting the short end of the stick. And I know people are going to hate me for that. I'll probably lose some subscribers because I went in on black men. God, oh my God. But truth is the truth. And black women deserve to be treated a lot better than they are. Black women are the most loving, most loyal, and they... But, you know what? I think the future is going to change. And other men are going to see that and go for the best option. And black women, you've done enough. Don't worry about your nails or your weave. If that makes you happy and feel beautiful, do you. Okay? If a man's got a problem with your hair or your nails, he don't deserve you. Okay? And here's the thing. People say, Roadrunner, you say you're traditional, but, you know, what about weave and nails? I don't give two shits about that. Look, my wife has had a weave. She either wears braids or natural most of the time. But I don't care if she gets a weave. My wife gets her nails done. My daughters come visit my wife, and my son comes. My daughters and my wife go get their nails done, get their hair done. And me and my son, we go hiking and we go do something. And then we meet back for dinner, and that's okay. I got a very traditional wife, so she's got her nails done. Oh my God! Oh my God! She might put a weave in there. Oh no, the world's going to end. Really? Stay out of the women's department. And the crazy thing is look, I've been married 32 years to my wife, and the black men in my wife's family, I never heard one of them complain about their wives wearing a weave or doing their nails. I never heard that. Till I seen it on fucking YouTube. Excuse my language. I'm just like, really? Why are men involved in the women's department? If a woman wears her hair a certain way or does makeup, nails, stay out of the women's department. I don't know. I'm just, whatever. We got so much more problems in life, but we're worried about a woman's hair and makeup and nails. Oh my God. But I see all this stuff and I tell black women, open up your options. I say it. And I know people hate me for it. Say, well, how can you say that? Because, black love. What about black love? Well, black love needs to do better. Okay? I'm just saying. Get your marriage rates up. And any of you beta dumplings out there that hate what I'm saying, marry the women you lay down with. Be a husband and father. Quit being a pimp and player. And people get mad at me and say, and this big J triple X dumbass, well, Roadrunner always talks about black men. Yeah, because black men ain't doing what's right. Black men ain't loving black women. Not all. There's some good black men, sure. But most of them ain't doing what they're supposed to. So what the fuck am I supposed to just coddle them and say, you're the best, but you're not doing anything? Congratulations. Here's your participation trophy. Like, come on. And I'm telling you, there's going to be judgment. The way you treat black women, God's judgment is coming. You don't treat her with love and respect, you're done. No matter if you're black or white or what you are. Anyway, let's continue.
Man is not going to be trying to beat your ass and talk shit, talk down to you, call you a bitch, and call you everything but a child of God. A productive man ain't doing that, because a productive man, he's not involved in drama. Y'all want a man that's involved in drama and chaos and all.
Okay, but how many good men are out there involved in drama? Okay, and I get what this young lady's trying to do. She's trying to give black women good advice. But look, when only 26% are married, and when 72% of black babies are born out of wedlock, that tells me the men ain't doing right. That tells me the men aren't being husbands and fathers. They're being more pimps and players. They're more consumed on a body count than a marriage and a family. Okay? And tell me I'm wrong. Show me where I'm wrong. Okay? Show me. Now you say, well, there are white men that abandon their family. Yeah, they're out there. There are dusty donut dusties out there not doing right. They're out there. Okay? I'm not saying only one group's doing wrong. But the majority of women that are being treated the worst are black women. Why? Why are black women the least protected and most disrespected? Are we going to just blame it on white supremacy and give the black man a pass and say, well, it's not your fault, white supremacy? Well, you do that, you're never going to fix the problem. Okay? Because in America, if you're a man and you love the woman you're with, you can marry her, whether she's black, white, whatever she is. And from my knowledge, I don't think there's no laws stopping black people from getting married. Maybe I'm wrong. Is there Klan members out there in City Hall trying to stop black people from getting married? Let me know if that's happening, because we could call the police and try to end it. Okay? But if that's not happening, what's your excuse? Step up to the plate. The black woman is the best option. She is the most loving, most nurturing. She is the most loyal. I'm an everyday white guy. I married a black woman, and I've been blessed every day of my life. And I'm not the greatest man. I'm not a millionaire. I'm not most spectacular. I think I'm a good guy. I do my best. But it worked out for me. And I'm outside looking in. I'm not the preference for the black woman, but I can have a successful marriage with a black woman. But black men are the preference of black women, but they can't marry black women? They can't have a successful marriage? What the hell's going on? Okay, no, let me stop. Let me get back to it's okay to have your preference. In black men, it's okay to have a preference for Asian or white women, but be honest. Okay, don't do it out of hate or spite. Do it because that's who you love. Any person that opens up their options out of hate or discontent, their marriage is doomed to fail. Okay? My preference is black women, but it didn't come out of hate. I didn't run to the black woman for hate for Becky. I always loved Becky. When it comes to relationships, I want to be with a black woman. That's who showed me the most love. That's it. It's just love. Okay? I'm going to have a roast session tonight. No, I'm just trying to get this down before I go there. And listen, I'm not a roasting guy, but I will defend myself. I will defend my family. I will defend the black woman. Don't get it twisted. And yeah, even if I have to step up to black men to do it. Okay? Because nobody's off the hook when black women are done wrong. Just saying. Anyway, you'll know where I'm at towards the end. Okay, let's hear the rest of this.
All kinds of crazy foolishness. And because the productive men don't engage in that, that's why y'all don't want to get with them. Y'all only want to get with the men who keep up chaos. And y'all can't get good with all over the internet. You can go and Google this. Black demographics.
Okay, she's saying you just want to get with the man that chaos. You should have chose better. Same BS. Look, young lady, you got to hold black men accountable too, okay? At least be fair and fair. Don't just tell women they need to choose better. Don't just tell women to stay away from the Pookie and Ray Ray. How about telling black men, quit being the damn Pookie and Ray Ray? Okay? Stop it. Black women, stop beating yourselves up. Okay? Black women, you are the best option. Embrace it. And if black men ain't into you like that, go to white men, go to Asian men, go to Indian men, go to Hispanic. You know what I'm saying? Go where you're loved and celebrated. Because I'm telling you, once you do that, all men will do right. Once black men don't have access to black women like they do, they'll do better. Don't kid yourself. You want black men to do right? Hold them accountable. Don't coddle them. Don't give them a free pass. Us white men do good with black women. You know why? Because we can't take them for granted. You know why? Because we embrace the love they give us. We're thankful for it. We look at it as a blessing. We don't look at it like it's a right that we deserve. Think about it. A white man will love you more than a black man will black women. You know why? Because they don't take you for granted like that. Now, there are corrupt, evil white men that will do you wrong. Don't get me wrong. That's why you got to vet. But I don't take a black woman's love for granted. Because I know how valuable and how much of a blessing it is. But a lot of black men don't know that. They just, you've embraced them, you worshiped them their whole life, and they're used to it. So they take you for granted. Just saying. Just saying. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me in the comments where I'm wrong. Am I just talking trash? Tell me. I'm going what I see and what I'm told by black women. Okay. Now let's go into politics. Oh my God. I'm going to the danger zone tonight, right? Look, and speaking of politics, I don't care whether you're Democrat or Republican on my channel. That's your business. That's your choice. I love you regardless. I don't care what religion you are. I love you just the same. Okay? I'm a Christian, but I don't expect you to go my way because I will not hold that against you. Of course, I'm going to try to persuade you my way, but I love you regardless. Okay? I don't care your political stand. I don't care your religious stand. That's your business. That's your right as an American. Okay? But this black woman is saying that women are better off with conservative men. What do you think? And I've heard, and look, I live in a big liberal state, blue state. Okay? And I've heard liberal women tell me this, that they're more attracted to conservative men, even though they don't like their values or what they believe. But I'm telling you, maybe it's that opposites attract type thing. I don't know. But anyway, tell me what you think of this video. Okay, and I'm not trying to stir things up, but I just found this interesting because I had a couple women I work with that are hardcore liberal, more not just liberal, but like socialist, like Bernie Sanders, like almost communistic. And they say they're attracted to conservative men, even though they don't like them, which I find crazy. But anyway, let me play this video.
Most women are attracted to their form of masculinity.
Okay, let me start again.
The truth is that most women are attracted to their form of masculinity, which masculinity to women typically leans more conservative. It just does. Because if you really thought that y'all were absolutely equal, then you would split everything equally. That's 50-50, but y'all don't want to do that. You all don't actually want liberal men that really believe that you are their equal, because then they're going to financially treat you like you're equal. But you don't want that. You don't want them. So you're either going to make it work with a more conservative man who is willing to pay for everything and not hold you accountable in those ways, or you are going to find someone who wants to hold you accountable because they actually think that they're your equal. Pick a side.
Okay, I don't want to hear what that guy says. What do you think about this? Look, I'm conservative. Look, and I paid the price for telling people my. I've had people unfollow me and say, "How could you be conservative?" Well, okay, well that's how I was raised. I'm a Christian. I've been raised biblically, and look, I've been raised where you pay the bills, you go out and work, and you take care of the finances, you protect, you provide, and I never been taught that 50-50 stuff. And if me and my wife were 50-50, my father would be so disappointed in me, he probably like backslap me and probably like clothesline me or something, because that's not how he raised me. Us as men, and it's tradition, okay? I've been raised that my responsibility is taking care of my wife and family financially, providing a home, working hard, and I was never taught that the woman's got to bring some income too. I was always taught that's my job. That's what I'm supposed to do. Okay? And look, a lot of women don't want to do that 50-50. They want a man to provide everything. And conservative men are more into that providing everything. That we're raised that way. And I don't care your political value. If you like that 50-50 thing, and you know, you can do that. Look, when I got married, I paid all the bills. I paid for everything. I still do. Um, when I get paid, I pay the bills, and my wife's check, I don't even look at her check. I don't even care what she does with it because I'm just being programmed where I take care of everything. And I even tell my wife, she says, "Well, I got so much of my check. What do you want to do?" I said, "Hey, keep it to yourself. Let me provide." Okay? And that's my mindset. I don't want my wife's money. I want to provide everything. That's how I've been raised. Okay? And I know a lot of liberal women, both black and white, that say, they hate conservative men, but they're attracted to them. And maybe that's that instinct thing that they want a provider. Where a liberal man's like, okay, men and women are the same. I do my thing, you do yours, you can lead, or me, it don't matter. Concerned man's like, hey, I'm the man, I'm going to take care of everything. You be over there, I got the bills, I got this. Okay? And we don't feel right if we're not providing and protecting. That's how we're raised. Okay? And I'm not trying to bash anybody on any political side. I'm just saying, is this something that's real? Because I've heard, look, I've heard liberal women say, I hate conservatives, but damn it, I'm attracted to them. Is there something there? Or maybe they want a fiscal conservative man, but a liberal politically. Maybe that's what they want. Because you can be that too. You can be the protector and provider and have a liberal mindset, sure. I mean, I don't know, but usually conservative, we're just trained to take care of everything. It's on our shoulders, and that's how we're raised. And if we can't provide and protect, it's tragedy for us. It really is. Okay? And I don't think and it's not that conservative men think they're better than women. We don't. We just think there's different roles. In fact, we value women more than ourselves. We look at women as the treasure, the prize. We look at it biblically, like God says, you find a wife, you find a good thing in favor from God. You know, the Bible talks about the virtuous woman and how valuable she is. And we value women more than ourselves as conservative men. We do. I always looked at myself as expendable, and not in a bad way. I don't think I'm less than, but my wife and kids are more important than me, and if it comes to the sacrifice, it's me before them. But anyway, what do you think? I just found this interesting. I've had some discussions, and look, and I'm conservative, but I got a lot of liberal friends. I'm in a liberal state. I work around Democrat politicians that love me but think I'm crazy, that try to sway me the other way. And I try to do the same thing, but we're people. If we could get along, why can't other people? I'm just saying. But anyway, what do you think about this video? It's kind of interesting. Makes you feel good, right? As a conservative guy, when a liberal woman says she's attracted to guys like you. Okay. Anyway. All right. I'm going to get in trouble. I can't believe the mess I'm in. I don't know if I'm coming or going, but anyway. When I get honest, I get dangerous, and people seem to hate me more. You know, when I'm honest, when I started coming out and saying I love black women, they're the best option, people hated me more. They loved me when I said, well, you know, I love all women, but I happen to be with a black woman. It just happened. They like that better than me saying, no, black women are the best option. They really hate me. But I'm being honest. I'm being myself. I wish people would love you when you're more honest. People love you. They hate you when you're honest, but they love you when you tell them those sweet little lies. I'm just saying. Anyway, let me play this next video. This is a beautiful video. And you can tell this black woman's in the white men. You can, look, she grew up in a white community. You could just tell. Tell me I'm lying. But she's a beautiful black woman, married to a white guy for like, I think 16 years, she was saying. It's a beautiful video, though. Okay? Let me go ahead and play it.
To a man of the...
Okay. Let me tell you about white people-ish. Tell me about white people-ish. We're crazy. Us white people, we're nuts. We got a lot of crazy stuff. Okay, let's continue.
So I'm married to a man of the Caucasian persuasion. Yes, I am. And we've been happily married for almost 16 years. Did you know that of all the interracial pairings, a white man married to a black woman have some of the lowest divorce rates? So I'm happy to experience it. But let me tell you about white people shit. This is how I got where I am today. First of all, hi, my name is Jody. I'm a storyteller here on TikTok. I share stories and observations. If you like my stories, please go ahead and push the magic button and leave me a follow. Okay, a little background and story time. So in my 20s, when I really started dating, hoping to find my Mr. Right, I was open. I was open to whoever my Mr. Right would be. Not specifically just white men, probably leaned more towards black men, but I was open. And I would go out on dates with all different types of people. And another little bit of history, I grew up in Colorado, just outside of Denver, not the most diverse place. Now it's totally different, a lot different, and very diverse, or at least more diverse. But when I lived there, for example, my high school had 4,000 kids and 30 of us were black. That's right, 30. So there was no real interracial dating, and when it did occur, it was black athletes, male, and white women, cheerleaders.
Okay. What's going on with the athletical world? Okay. Going in the pro. Okay. And my advice to pro athlete black men, stay with the black woman. Don't get with that white woman. Look, she's after you for your money. I'm just saying. That black woman will love you through thick and thin. Okay? My advice to black men is stay with black women. My advice to white men is get with a black woman. Okay? Hey, we all want the best, right? Black women are the best. Just saying. All right, let's continue.
Never. But the reverse, I never saw that, except for one relationship in my entire high school career. One white guy dated one black girl, and they stayed together for a very long time. But that was it. So I was pretty much dateless for the most part in high school. So then when I got in my 20s and college and then out of college, it was a lot easier to date. And I'd go out on these dates with black guys, and they would be like, tell me about yourself. You know, like, what do you like to do? And I would say, well, I grew up in Colorado. I love the outdoors. I like to snow ski. I like to hike. I ride my bike. I also back then rollerbladed a lot. I've run marathons. I've bungee jumped. I do all kinds of outdoor stuff. Their eyes would just glaze over. And they're like, yeah, but you like to go to the clubs. You like to go bowling. I'm like, I don't really like bowling. And I love to dance, but I don't really, clubs, yeah, they're fun to go to sometimes, but I'd rather go hike the next day instead of going out on Friday. And he was like,
right.
That's white people shit. You want to do white people shit? That's kind of boring.
I love white people-ish.
Wait a minute. I've bungee jumped off of a 100-foot bridge, not once, twice. I downhill ski. I have known how to ski since I was 4 or 5. In fact, I can ski backwards, and I've skied a double black diamond. I've run not 1 marathon, but 2. I used to be a sprinter in college. Like, why does none of this stuff matter? I hike, I've traveled to 10 foreign countries, but you see me as boring? It's white people shit. I heard that message over and over and over again. And it's really sad because I see a lot of like jokey videos on social media, like black friend takes out his white friend to do white people shit, and white people take black friend out to do black people, whatever, the whole flip flop thing. And ah ha 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 ha, everybody laughs. But it's old. The reason I married a white guy was not because I was into white guys or I was against anything else or a black guy or whatever, or anyone else. It was because I was open to and looking for somebody who shared my interests. And he happened to be a white guy. But can I tell you how many times I heard, well, then you must be boring. That's white people shit. I'm glad I didn't listen to them because I'm happily married. I found somebody who likes to do the things that I like to do. And I didn't just let it be defined as white people shit. So I guess if it is that, so be it. But I get to be happily married and still do black people shit. That's all.
Okay, so what do you think about this video? This is, and she's explaining she's open to do certain things, and she has more in common with white people than black people. And she probably grew up in a predominantly white neighborhood, and she likes snow skiing in Colorado. Look, I lived in Colorado for a long time. I love to ski. You know, and people say that's white people stuff. I go rock climbing. And even though I'm a little bit of a fat guy, I can still climb rocks and do that crazy mess. That's white people stuff, I guess. I go scuba diving. Me and my brother are into that. He lost his leg a few years ago in a car accident, but he still does scuba diving. He still does like marathons. He's a health nut, and he lives in Georgia and he wanted to go scuba diving in Lake Lanier. I'm like, no, dude. Look, and I've been scuba diving in the ocean around sharks and all kinds of stuff, but I will not go in that lake. As many people have been unalived in the history, hell no. I'd rather swim around sharks and crap. At least you can kind of control that. I don't know. But that's kind of white people stuff, I guess. I've been raised in the outdoors, fishing, hiking. My father would take me all kinds of places. I think I walked across New Mexico like 1,000 times. I've always, being outside is an awesome thing. Being up in the mountains, fishing, skiing. Like I said, I like scuba diving. I did it when I was in the Navy. I haven't done it in a while. I need to get my recertification. Because it's important. You know that stuff. You don't want to come up too quick, and you want to make sure, a lot of things, depending on how deep you go, you got to be careful. Safety reasons, but I mean, I like doing outside stuff. I like skiing. I like scuba diving. I like swimming. I like rock climbing, and I don't scale off big cliffs. Nothing crazy. But I like that type of stuff. I like swimming in a river. And this young lady, where she grew up, she likes doing that, and she has stuff in common with white men. She's married to a white man over 16 years. And a lot of times you get with someone you have a lot of stuff in common you like to do together. You like being with each other. And you might look different. This is a black woman, but you kind of tell she came from a white neighborhood. I'm just saying, if I talked to her, I would say, yeah, you came from a white, but maybe she didn't. I don't know. Maybe it's a stereotype. But that's a beautiful story. She's saying, I'm with who I identify with, who I love being with. Nothing wrong with that. But sadly, I bet there's some people that, treat her like crap because she's married to a white guy. And why? Don't we want to be happy as people? I'm just saying. I mean. Anyway, Okay. Now I'm going to get into some stuff, and some people on YouTube, look, have pissed me off. Okay, and some people are backstabbers. Some people you even have agreements with, and they go back on their agreement, and they try to make you look bad, try to destroy what you got, because they don't like the fact that you're in an interracial relationship and you promote interracial relationships with black women and white men. They don't like that. Okay? But I want to play this on my phone. And this dude, okay? And I tried to be peaceful with this guy. I tried to ignore him. I tried to say, and I made a deal with him. I look, you don't mess with me. I don't mess with you back in the day. And I had some compassion for this dude, okay? I just thought, there's a black guy that he feels some kind of way with white men and black women, but maybe he's misunderstood. He likes white women, and that's cool. Look, nothing wrong with that. I promote interracial relationships regardless of which way it goes. I support black men that love white women and Asian women. That's what you like, do you? I have nothing against that. I promote that because I want to be left alone with who I'm with, right? Yeah, I've lost a lot of weight. I have. Thank you so much. I have. I'm doing pretty good. I'm almost at my weight I'm supposed to be at. Believe it or not. But I've been working hard too. Okay. Now this guy, I want to play you what he said. Okay? And what he's doing is he'll make an agreement. And he's done it with people, even in his realm, that believe like him, that have had a beef. Oh, yeah, we'll squash it. We'll do this thing and we'll leave each other alone. And see, I had that agreement with him. I'm like, okay, you know I love black women, you know. And he says, yeah, but you talk about black men. Yeah, well, the bad ones, okay? I don't like Umar Johnson. I think he's a fraud. I think he does black women wrong. I talk about him. And I talk about the black men that attack me and my family, okay? And if you attack me and my family, look, I'm not going to give you no grace if you attack me and my family. I'm going to defend myself, right? But he thinks because they're black, I have no right to defend myself. Okay? Anyway, I want to play you what this joker said. And he talks about me every once in a while, kind of subtle, kind of trying to get people on my channel to unfollow me and try to tell people I'm racist because I talk about black men. I'm not allowed to, even if I'm right. Okay? He does this underhanded stuff. Okay? But I'm going to play this real quick on my phone. I'm not going to show his video because he would love to strike me down. But anyway, let me play this real quick.
And I'm like, y'all, I wanted Brownsville even know about them women in that chat room he keeps on defending, because if he goes follow one of these two, three of them, some of them will be on that other channel where that white man talks about black men, that Roadrunners channel. Some of those women up in that chat room be on Roadrunners channel. Oh, black men ain't shit, and they be all up in that chat room. We love you, Roadrunner. We love you, Roadrunner. We love you, Roadrunner. We love you, Roadrunner.
Okay, you see what this clown is saying?
Clubhouse. Oh.
Okay, he's saying that, and he's talking about this guy, Sharon Bracey, another black content creator. He's got a white wife he's jealous of. But he's saying that some of those people follow me and I talk about black men and saying black men ain't shit, and you know, and he's trying to shame people that follow me. I never said black men ain't shit. I go in on certain black men doing wrong. Okay, I do talk about stats, and black women are the least married. Most children born out of wedlock are black children. I do go there. Okay, and it's not to shame people; it's to tell the truth. Okay, but he tries to shame people from following me. Okay, and even though those are black channels, there are some women that follow my channel, and he's trying to stop them because I say stuff about black men. Well, when men do wrong, I talk about it. And the thing of it is I go in on white men too. I have thrown white men off my channel that I was close to because they acted wrong. Okay? I've thrown Asian off my channel. I don't play when it comes to disrespect towards black women, when it comes to sexualizing black women. I'm a Christian. I don't do that. Okay? But this dude, okay, he talks about my channel, which we had an agreement where I said, you know what? His name's Big J Triple X. I said, look, Big J. Okay, and I had a talk and say, you know what? We disagree, and I thought, you know, this guy was all right. He says, yeah, we can agree to disagree, you know. And, you know, he actually likes white women. So I thought, hey, we got something in common. You know, we're attracted to women outside of our race. So maybe, you know, there can be something worked out. I'm not a bad guy. I'm like, look. But I've been taken advantage of by black men because I've let black men up here and been respectful to them and let them say their thing, and they turn on me and try to hurt me and my channel. Okay? And this guy has done that. And I didn't do nothing to him. I haven't even talked about him in like a couple years. You know, we did have a beef, but you know, he seems to want to go after me. And the reason is he likes interracial relationships when it's the black man and white woman. But he don't like it when it's the black woman, white man. Okay? Well, let me play this again.
Women in that chat room, he keeps on defending because if he goes follow one of these two, three of them, someone will be on that other channel where that white man talks about black. Someone will be on that other channel where that white man talks about black men. That Roadrunners channel.
That Roadrunners channel that talks about black men. Okay? I do talk about black men that ain't doing right. Umar Johnson, I can't stand him. Sorry. Okay? There's black men that have threatened me, that have attacked me and my family. Yeah, I go in on black men that do that. He leaves that out. He don't tell the whole story. He just makes it sound like I'm just attacking black men at will for no reason. Okay?
Up in that chat room, be on Roadrunners channel.
Roadrunners
black
channel.
men ain't shit, and they be all up in that Roadrunners channel. Roadrunners channel.
And here's the thing.
Some of those women.
When have I said black men ain't shit? I never say that. In fact, people accuse me of being a walking disclaimer because I always say not all. But I will tell you stats because I get tired of us white men that love black women being called fetishizers when our marriages last the longest, when we're doing good things, right?
Up in that chat room, be on Roadrunners channel. Oh, black men ain't shit, and they be all up in that chat room. We love you, Roadrunner.
Yeah, you love me.
We love you, Roadrunner. We love you, Roadrunner.
Yeah, Big J, you love me, don't you?
We love you, Roadrunner.
And here's the thing. This dude gets so upset because a black woman will show me love and say, hey, I love you, Roadrunner. You're doing a good thing. And thank you for uplifting black women. He gets freaking pissed. He goes off the deep end. You know, and the thing of it is I've tried to ignore him. I try to let it go. But he's underhanded, trying to destroy what I got, trying to get black women to go away from my channel. But you know what? I'm going to tell the truth on this, dude. Because it's fair game. You put my name out there, Big J, Triple X, Big Jack, Triple Stooge, okay? And this guy will never show his face. I think he's, you know, living in a power chair and ain't got nothing going on, you know. But this is what, you know, the closest I got to what he looks like. His name is Big Jack, Triple Stooge. He's a Casa cowboy, okay? All right, he's a black dude that loves white women, but he's afraid to say it. And I would say, Big J, come on, quit being a candy ass. Just say it. You love white women. It's okay to have a preference. Okay, that's my advice to him. Just don't tear other people down that have a preference. But this is how, you know, he's from Texas. You know, he's like a Casa cowboy. He likes that taco casa stuff, you know. Those Texas boys love that. I don't know. Fast food, Mexican food just don't work for me. I'm from New Mexico. But this is how he is. And he thrives on black women. He loves black women. Not black women, white women. He acts like he loves black women. He wants black women to mule and mammy for him when he can be with white women. Okay? But there he is, you know, living his life. Big Jack, Triple Stooge. Big Stooge. Okay? The whole thing with me and this dude started off with this one cartoon picture. Okay? I used this picture on one of my videos, and this dude lost his mind. For 8 months, he was bitching and crying, calling it racist, because I had a white guy with a tie and a black guy in hip-hop clothes. Both the cartoon dudes looked attractive dudes, right? I didn't think it was a bad picture. An attractive black woman in the middle, the black man, white man competing for the love of a black woman. And, you know, and he, oh my God, for 8 months, this dude, he got online and made video after video, complained, just, you know, couldn't help himself, just bitch and complain. And he even called me a Nazi because of this picture. I don't know how that works, but I mean, he lost his freaking mind. And, you know, I would do videos making fun of him. We'd do a beef back and forth. And then one day I was like, you know what? I had compassion. I was like, maybe this guy's misunderstood. And I reached out to him and I emailed him. We talked and I said, you know what? You know, and his thing was, he said, the only problem I got with you is these memes, these pictures. You know, if you did it fair. And you know what? I listened to this clown. I said, okay, so every picture I did, I had the white guy and the black guy in a tie, in a suit, right? Which I didn't need to do that, but I'm like, okay. You know, I'll listen to you, what you got to say, and, you know, I thought we had a good rapport. But no, he kept attacking me. He kept trying to encourage people to not follow me. He would do videos left and right. He would, and he's done this recently. He'll tag me on a video and put it up and then take it down right away. Because I've seen things where I'm tagged and I'm like, what's he talking about? But the video's already taken down. And I'm like, Big J, Triple Stooge, look, idiot, if you got something to say to me, just say it. I'll drop the link on my channel. You come up, we can talk. But don't be a candy ass and make a video and take it down. Like, what the hell? What are you trying to prove? You just trying to underhand me without me knowing? But look at this picture. Is this that bad? Look, a black guy with glasses. He's looking pretty cool. He's got his pants, the white guy in the suit. I don't know. I didn't think it was bad, but he thought it was, oh my God, so horrible, so racist, so, oh my God, how could you do that, Roadrunner? I mean, he cried for 8 months. And I'm like, God, this guy's so emotional over a cartoon picture. And I was like, what's going on? But he would do this, and that's our history. And I just ignored it. Okay, I had a truce. Okay, I tried to talk to him. I'm a diplomatic person. Look, when I did work in law enforcement, I was in hostage negotiation program because I can talk to people, and people, I got that personality, a loving personality where I can negotiate. I'm good at that. So I thought I'd use that and try to, two men come together, but it didn't work. He just didn't like the white man getting love from black women. He couldn't stand it. But that's who he is. He's a Texas guy, and runs around. He's like you, Alcipity Sam. He yells at the TV screen and it just goes nuts, man. He's a nut job. It's like, but he turns on his own people. That's the weird thing. He's turned on black women that follow him, and it's just crazy. But he's also yelled at people for being on my channel. He shamed black women, and this cartoon picture. This is really what it is. Why did you go on the Roadrunner show? Okay, and she's saying, go back to your Becky worship. He loves white women. It's crazy. He has a channel where it's like he wants black women to mule and mammy for him, but have white women like in his tight circle. Yeah, he's just lost his mind. And he deals with, and I've dealt with this guy. And, he loves white women, and I tell him, quit being a candy ass. Just admit that's your preference. Look, black women are my preference. I've admitted it to the world. I struggled with it like you are, Big J, but you're 50 years old. I struggled as a teenager. I grew up as I became a man and decided to be honest with myself. That's what you need to do. Okay? This dude, he likes to go in and talk about marriage like, hey, it ain't no big thing, it ain't a flex, and acts like he's like Paul the Apostle, because Paul the Apostle, decided not to get married and put all his energy in God because he loved the Lord, right? To go preach the word. Well, this guy's looking at black women's boobs to prove that he's attracted to black women. It's nuts. It don't even make sense. But he tries to put himself as a biblical character because he's not married. Well, he's not married because he's not responsible. And I don't think he even got income. He makes videos every day like how do you have the time to do that? I work. I could barely do a video each weekend. But this dude goes in on me. And and makes agreements with me and then backstabs me. And I'm like, why do you do that? And then he has this. This is like one of his best followers, one of it that he's all into, and it's an elderly white woman that she's a feminist, just hates white men, but. And that's how white feminists are. They just hate white men. They, for some reason, maybe something tragic happened. Maybe, I don't know. Something is just off. Okay? And what I call her is pure buttermilk stinker. And guys, what a buttermilk stinker is an elderly white woman that tries to get in a black space and tries to control black women, tries to control black people, and believes that what she says is like the gospel. But this woman here in her 70s, old white woman, loves being black spaces, big feminist. And it's not the feminists where they want women to have equal rights with men and none of no, it's just hates white men. But this woman, gets with younger black women, and one woman she got with was encouraging her to get with this big J guy that can't show his face on the internet to go meet up with him and marry, and she's going to pay for the ticket. And I'm like, that's one thing if you're a white woman that loves being in a black space, but don't put young black women out there to be exploited and taken advantage of. And this dude loves getting white women to attack young black women. I just don't get it. And she went in, this poor young lady, I did this for you back in the day and like you owe me. And I'm just like, it's just so horrible. But that's what a buttermilk stinker does. It's a white woman that wants to be a black woman, okay, but can't. But she's up in age and, just like buttermilk, going bad quick. A pure buttermilk stinker. I never cared for this woman. She just, out for herself and just wants to dominate black women and, Big J being loving white women. He lets white women take control and dominate his channel, at the expense of black women, but that's what they do. But this woman here, she's playing the game, and she's got 20-inch blades in back of her Impala. She's pro-black all the way, and this is usually, and she's one of his attack dogs, Big Jack, Triple Stooge. This is, and she'll tell black women, you need to protect Big J no matter what. And they're like, leave us alone, buttermilk stinker. But that's pure buttermilk stinker. A throwaway elderly white woman that wants to be in black spaces. A last ditch effort, and that's what I call a buttermilk stinker. And but they're also known as, and be careful of elderly white women in black spaces. They'll try to take control. They do. And they'll try to dominate. And that's what a buttermilk stinker is. They're also known as the old gasser. Okay? and she's just so old and it just seems weird to me is why would you want to be with younger black women when you're up in age? Look, I'm in my 50s. I'm around 50-year-olds. I don't hang around young kids. But this woman has put a young lady in danger, telling her to meet up with a guy that won't even show his face on YouTube. Okay? And even encourage her to marry this dude. Like, she don't even know who he is. I mean, and the thing of it is so many black women are exploited and taken advantage of. Black women are the least protected and most disrespected, and especially when they're young girls. A lot of these weirdo, creepy dudes go for the young girls because they're easier to manipulate. And I'm beginning to wonder, and I would ask Big J, I was like, was this an arrangement to get her to send this young black woman to meet you? or was this just some crazy Becky that just being stupid? I don't know. I don't know the story, but these old gassers, stay away from them. Okay, they'll be feminists, but they're not for black women. They just hate white men, and they go to black spaces. A lot of them hate black women. They just love black men because they can control a lot of black men because of, a lot of black men have been, coddled and looking for a woman to take care of them. And sometimes these elderly women get a black dude that's up in age or a little bit, younger than them. It's like their last ditch effort. These old gassers, these buttermilk stinkers, they don't even have a Becky return policy. They don't. And I've talked about that. Like, a lot of white men won't date white women that have been with black men, unless they're a lower economic level. Okay? The Becky return policy don't mean a white woman can't date a white man after being with black men. They can, but their value ain't the same. Well, a pure butterfly stinker, she's up in age. It's done. So she's got to hope to find an elderly black dude to get with, or, some beta dumpling black dude that, wants to be taken care of, like Big J. I mean, that's what they do. But that's what they look like. That's who they are. And it's either a buttermilk stinker or an old gasser. That's anyway. But here's what his channels turned out to be. Triple Jacker, Big Jacker, Triple Stooge, Pro Becky worshiping channel. He worships the Becky. He's one of these struggle dusties that just, loves a white woman and does it at the expense of the black woman. Yeah, and there's him at his favorite restaurant, Taco Casa. He loves talking about eating. This dude would talk about, it's funny, he would do a show and talk about, where's the white women at? He would just say it during his show and talk about eating food. And one time he was talking about Taco Casa. Like, those Texas boys love that fast food Taco Casa stuff. But I would just say, dude, if you're going, you'll find white women there because they're dumb. They don't know what real Mexican food is. But you take a Hispanic woman, she'll slap you. And if she's from New Mexico, she'll body slam you. Don't take her to Taco Casa. Okay? And I'm not giving my opinion on it. Okay? People say it's great fast food. When it comes to Mexican food, it's got to be, made from scratch. It's got to be genuine. And I'm from New Mexico. That's how we believe. But you Texas boys, you do your thing. Okay? Big Jack, Triple Stooge, you do you, buddy. Okay? All right. And I want to show this picture here. Okay? It's okay to have a preference. Big J, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? A white man with a black woman leading the way, the most successful marriages. Let it shine. And I want all marriages to, last. And maybe you and Pure Buttermilk Stinker can tie the knot, buddy. I'm praying for you guys. You deserve each other. I know you like white women because you act like one. And you and Buttermilk Stinker are like a couple cackling Karens. So you fit right in. Okay? But anyway, that's a little roast I'm doing. But here's the thing. Big J, listen to me. Okay? You want to talk shit about me, you come to my channel and do it. Okay? You keep my name out of your mouth. Or I'm going to make these videos about you. I'm going to make fun of you. Okay? And I'm getting pretty good at AI. and I'm going to keep doing it. And I'm going to talk about your butterfly stinker girlfriend, okay? Because you're both garbage, okay? Both of you don't look out for black women. And for her to try to get a young black woman to meet up with you is disgusting. You won't even show your face. So before you put my name in your mouth, get ready. And if you want to beef, Big J, Triple X, you want to come for me? I'm here, brother. Let's do this. Okay, let's have a beef. I'll go back and forth with you all day, all night. I work a lot. I got a job. Unlike you, being unemployed on disability, you know, afraid to cam up because you don't want people to see you on your power chair. But look, I'll go back and forth with you. I have no problem. Okay, I'm motivated in this. I'll make cartoons make fun of you and your stupid girlfriend. Your stupid feminist that hates men, okay? And my advice to you is you better show more love and respect towards black women, okay? Don't put a white woman ahead of the black woman, especially when the black woman is taking care of you, okay? And I did this on my own. I'm not in cahoots with anybody, but I love how Miss Elite and David Banner brought the smackdown on you. And even Maytag had me laughing. I enjoyed that too. Okay? So if you want to talk and use my name, you come up here and talk to me. Okay? And my advice to you is quit being a candy ass. Just say you love white women, that's your preference. Okay? I mean, my preference is black women, you know that. There ain't nobody that's going to disrespect the black woman on my channel. Okay? Pretty much black women own my channel anyway. It's theirs anyway. But don't take a black woman's love for granted, Big J. It will bite you in the ass. And it will end you. So knock it off. You got a problem with me? Hit the link and come up. Okay? You come on my channel, I'll come on yours. We'll have a discussion. But this backhanded bullshit, you know the black men I talk about are the ones not doing right. You know the black men I talk about are the ones that attack me and my family, my wife and my children. So shut the fuck up till you know what you're talking about. Big J, Triple X, punk bitch. How about that? Now here's the deal. If you're a good boy and you keep my name out of your mouth, I'll leave you alone. You leave me alone, I leave you alone. Sounds pretty fair. But you talk crap about me, you do things underhand, I'm going to go in on you like no tomorrow. And I'm motivated, brother. Okay? So my advice to you is do your research and shut the fuck up till you know what you're talking about. Okay? You don't know who I'm talking about and why. And when I talk about stats, it's the truth. And quit talking about married people like it's not a flex. It's more than a flex. The Bible says that a man that has a wife has a good thing in favor from God. So it's beyond a flex. It's a blessing from God. So respect people that are married. You're not the Apostle Paul going out spreading the gospel, giving yourself to the Lord. So shut the hell up. And quit looking at women's bare chests. That's some fetishizing crap. Give black women love and respect. You owe that to them. And try, instead of getting a coffee or a donation, why don't you donate to the women that support you? How about that? Because with me, I don't take donations. I made a promise to God and black women that I will not take nothing from a black woman. I will give to a black woman because I love black women, but I will not take from them. Black women have been too big of a blessing for me to take anything from them. I can't even do a Patreon to charge them $1. How about you try that if you truly love black women? Because I've done more for black women than you'll ever do in your whole freaking life. And dude, you ain't going to get married. You're not going to have a family because you're not responsible. You're waiting for someone to coddle you and take care of you. And maybe pure buttermilk stinker will give you that. Well, she's the man in the relationship. You're feminine. Makes sense. Okay? So next time you want to put my name out there, get ready. Because I got all day to talk about you. And I'll make comic books about you, making fun of you. But if you leave me alone, I'll leave you alone. Fair enough? All right, have a good night. All right, guys. Let me put the link up here. If anybody wants to come up and ask me what I'm talking about, you can. And if Butternuts wants to come up and talk to me, he can too. But anyway, I wasn't even going to talk about this. I was going to leave it alone. But I get tired of people just talking trash about you, spreading lies. I get tired of that. When I'm not messing with people. The only people I roast are the ones that go in on me. The only people I ever attack are the ones that attack me. I want to be peaceful. I want to have my channel and talk about interracial love and marriage. I just want to talk about how we can come together as a nation and people. I don't want to talk this about people, but you have to. Because they won't stop. They won't honor an agreement. They'll say, oh yeah, we'll leave each other alone, then backstab you. Because they want to take you down. Because they don't like that black women show you love. Because a white guy, I guess, don't deserve love from a black woman. Anyway. But the whole point is don't be afraid. It's okay to have a preference. Okay? And when you have a preference, you're going to integrate into the Swirl community. What is a Swirl community? It's people of different races coming together with love and marriage. Okay? And people say, well, is a black man and white woman part of the Swirl community? Yeah, they are. They are part of the Swirl community. Okay? I support swirling and interracial relationships. Whether you're a white man, black man, white woman, black woman, as long as you find love and you're happy. That's what I'm for. Okay? I will tell you stats, but that don't mean I'm against other groups that don't have as successful stats. I'm not. I want everybody to be successful. I want everybody to find love. Whether it's black love, white love, interracial love. I'm for love all the way. I don't discriminate against love. I love love. I love love. Why would you hate love? I love love. Okay? I just happen to love black women. That's, and it's not a weakness, it's a strength. I can see the best group of women. That's the black woman. And I can say that confident as a white man. And not feel bad about it. I know people hate me for saying that. I don't care. Truth is the truth. I got 32 years of marriage. Hey, I did something right. I invested in a black woman. Love me or hate me for it, but I chose right. A lot of people say you should have chose right. I did. I chose a black woman. White men, non-black men, get to know the black woman. And if you're a good man, get to know her. If you're a dusty piece of garbage, leave black women alone. Oh, hey, thanks, Alexander. I can't come up tonight. Oh, no problem. Okay. Have a live stream. Okay. Well, awesome. It's good to see you, Alexander. And Alexander Brandon, this dude is a good man. This is what I refer to as a diamond in the rough. When I refer to a black man as a diamond in the rough, that means I have love and respect for you. I have love and respect for Alexander. Okay? He don't come up here for himself or how he feels. He loves black women. And his channel is all about black women, uplifting black women, showing them love, showing them respect. Okay? And look, I'm like a knight. Okay? And all my knights out there, my fellow investors. Okay? The diamonds in the rough, the ones that love black women. Okay? Show you my shield, my sword, my love. Okay? Let's do right by black women. Okay? Let's be real men. Regardless of what color you are, let's uplift black women. We love black women. Let's uplift them. Let's protect them. Let's show them love. Let's marry them before we lay down with them. How about that? How about we treat them like the beautiful blessing and treasure that they are? Okay? That's what I want. Okay? I love black women. My heart belongs to black women. People say, you know what, Brent, every time a black woman's around, you go that extra mile. You do anything for a black woman. And sometimes I'm confused. What are you talking about? But when your heart belongs to a group of women, you go out of your way. And it's not bad. I have love for black women. Whether they're young or old, I try to do right. And I think it's just instinct. You know, I love black women so instinctively. I'm protective and I try to do right by them. I try to help them all I can. And the beautiful thing is when you don't even realize you're doing that, that's true love. And I embrace that. You know? But thank you so much, Alexander. I appreciate you, brother. And guys, follow Alexander. He's a good man. He's got a good channel. Okay? And he fights the good fight for the black woman. He does. I call this man the diamond in the rough. Because I got the utmost love and respect for Alexander. Okay? And I don't just say that for any dude. Okay? It's very rare I call anybody a diamond in the rough. But I do Alexander. He deserves that title. He does. Okay? Anyway, let me say a prayer. And look, I did some roasting, and it's not something I really like doing. Well, with that jackass, I love roasting Big J. He's toxic. He's a weirdo. And I shouldn't say that. Honestly, I want to be peaceful. Okay? But this dude uses my name too much. He tries to get people to go after me. You know, he don't have the courage to take me on himself, so he tries to get other people. Kind of like Miss Elite, he got pure buttermilk stinker to go in on her, you know, using what she did to weaponize it's just disgusting. Okay? And I was going to leave it alone, but when I heard that, you know, encouraging her to meet up with a guy that can't even show his face, that's not protecting black women. That's a no-go. Okay? You know, and a young 20-year-old black woman's very vulnerable. And what's that say about you as an older woman doing that? That's disgusting. Okay, and that's what I got a problem with most of all. I don't care. Even him saying stuff about it, I've let it go. I've let it go so many times. But tonight I just couldn't. I had to say something. Let this joker know I'm watching you and I'm ready to go. You want the beef? Come on, bro. Let's do this. You're in Texas, I'm in New Mexico. We call it the Rio Grande Shootout. In a peaceful way, debating. You want to do it? Let's do it. I went on your show. Hey, didn't we have agreement you come on mine? Come on up here. I know you won't, though. It's all good. But guys, let me say a prayer. Okay? I don't really like roasting, but sometimes you got to do it. And don't use my name out there unless you know what the hell you're talking about. Because anybody I go in on has done me wrong. And you, Big J, have done me wrong. That's why I'm talking about you. Okay? So, you either man up and come see me or shut the fuck up. Excuse my language, I'm sorry. I'm supposed to be a Christian, but I'm acting stupid. I need to work on that. But let me say a prayer. Okay, Lord, thank you so much for tonight's show. Lord, I just want people to have the courage to stand up for who they love interracially, Lord. And I pray you give me the courage to continue to stand up to people that do me wrong, talk about me, attack my wife, my family. Lord, that I have the courage to stand up for what I believe, to have the courage to stand up for black women, Lord. Please give me that courage. Okay? And don't ever, Lord, please don't ever let me be ashamed for standing up for myself, my family, Lord. And Lord, please give me the courage to stand up to any man, whether they're black, white, or whatever they are, that I could stand up for what's right and tell the truth, Lord. And I thank you, Lord, for everyone you sent my way that follow me, that have love for me, Lord. And I pray that my YouTube channel, my days that are left on YouTube, however long they are, that they would be peaceful and full of love, Lord. I pray that my roasting sessions will be a lot lower. But Lord, I pray that you give me the courage to roast when I need to roast. And to do what's right. In Jesus' name I pray, amen. All right, guys. You have a good night. God bless you and your family. And I'm sorry about this roast, but I had to address this. My name is being thrown out there, run through the mud, saying that I just talk bad about black men, not even putting it in context on who's attacking me. That's unfair. That's not right. I don't do that to people. And I don't like when it's done to me. And I don't like when this joker's followers exploit young black women. I don't like that. I have a problem with that. But anyway, in Big Jacker, Triple Stooge, you want to go in on me? Let's do it. If you want to leave my name out of it, I'll leave your name out of it. Ball's in your court. Tell me what you want to do. Okay? Anyway, I'll see you. Big Jack, don't be afraid. Don't be a candy ass. Admit you have a preference for white women. Just do it. Okay? Nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with it. As long as you don't put black women at the back. Don't do that. Okay? Anyway, have a good night. God bless, guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow. We're going to talk about protecting black women. And I'm going to talk about how we can protect black women. And ladies, I want you to listen to tomorrow's show. And this will help you look for red flags. Because loving a black woman's protection. not touching a black woman until she's your wife. That's protection. Okay? It goes beyond the physical protection, mental protection, emotional protection. Okay? And this applies to all women. We should look. But I'm going to talk about protecting black women. I did a poll. You guys want me to talk about this? I'm going to. This is a good subject, especially black women dealing within your community and interracially. Okay, black women, you are more vulnerable than any other group of women on the planet. And I'm sorry to say that. I wish it wasn't like that. But black women, you got to be on your toes more than any other group of women. Okay? And you're beautiful women, and you're the most loving, most beautiful. The women that have the most character, that's you. But you're also in the most danger. Okay? So, we'll have a good show tomorrow night. It'll be the same time. Okay? About 10:30 Eastern time. And that's because that's when I get off work. You know, I'm not like Big Stooge. I don't have all the time in the world to just do videos all day. I have to make time. Okay? But guys, I'll see you tomorrow. Saturday Night Swirl, Protecting Black Women. That's going to be our show. And, you know, if you want to come up and give some ideas how we can protect black women, and coming from black women, like your input too. Okay? I could tell you what I think and my experiences, but it's good to have a roundabout experience. And look, don't be afraid of your preference. It's okay to love somebody of another race. It's okay to love somebody of a different ethnicity. It's okay. As long as your love is true. Okay? As long as you're loved and celebrated, it don't matter what color that love is. Okay? God made us different colors because God loves different colors. One color isn't more beautiful than the other. All the colors are beautiful. And whether we stay the same color or blend colors, it's a beautiful thing. Let's love each other. Let's stop this hate, this divide. Let's stop this colorism. Let's stop this skin tone worship crap. Let's just come together as people. Can we do that? And yeah, our children will be biracial and light and dark, and who cares? Who really cares? As long as we build a great nation of people that love each other, that uplift each other, that's what I want. How about you? Let's go for that. Let's let the past die in the grave, and let's build a better future. Our time is now. What we do now will impact our future. Let's focus on that. Let's come together with love and marriage, and let's swirl to investment. How about that? Have a good night. God bless.